Welcome back to Folk Solo Sports Show. I want to talk about the 49ers losing to the Green Bay Packers. Um, I don't want to talk about them losing. I want to talk about, them losing. But at the end of the game, this is what I want to say. They were getting beat on 34-3 or something like that. And then they get two touchdowns in the fourth quarter and make the game 34-17 was the ending score. 34-17. They get two touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They score a touchdown at the end when there's only I think there was 30 seconds left. They could have had more time to do an onside kick and try to get that onside kick and pull out a miraculous comeback. But no, they just let the clock run down with two timeouts while there's 30 seconds left on the clock, and they were already 10 yards from the end zone. That right there to me is bad coaching. If you're going to rush down the field to try to get more points, to try to make the score look closer, then why not go all out and all in to try to win the game? Try to come back as much as you can. You had two timeouts left and you just let the clock run all the way down to about 8 seconds instead of calling the timeout. You got the touchdown. So after you got the touchdown, you would have probably had at least 20 seconds left if you made the right play. Did the onside kick. That wouldn't have took off too much time. It ought to probably took off 2 seconds. 17 seconds. If you recover it, you're already at the 40-yard line. You try to go for another touchdown. You try to go for another one-time good play, and you do the same thing. Don't try to just make the score look good, but let the clock run down. If you're going to score the ball, go all in with it. Use those two timeouts. They had two timeouts and didn't even use them. That's bad coaching right there by the San Francisco 49ers. All right? This is one thing. I don't think Tom Brady is the GOAT. But I do respect Tom Brady because he never gives up in the game. He uses every second he has. And unlike that other game he just had where he didn't know what down it was. But other than that, that's what I respect about Tom Brady. He never gives up. He tries to come back every time and win the game. It doesn't matter how much time is left. He tries to do everything possible to come back and win the game. I do respect that about him, other than his smarts, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, we're talking about giving up. This right here was just giving up, but trying to make it look good. If you're going to try to get more points and keep doing it. You had two timeouts left, and I just don't like that look by the San Francisco 49ers coaching staff, or rather even the players. The players should have been aware of it too. If y'all are going to try to start playing your best football with the last couple minutes left in the game, you should know the time and the amount of timeouts you have left too. And the quarterback, somebody on the offense should have called timeout too to save more time if you're going to come back. You talk about not I hear Rob Parker and Chris Broussard talk about how tanking isn't good when Jerry Jones said that about the Dallas Cowboys. You can be tanking with all the starters. That's tanking right there. They said that people are going to be mad because they pay to see more than that. People pay more to see their team do good throughout the whole football game instead of just getting touchdowns only in the fourth quarter with the last couple seconds left on the clock and don't use their timeouts. All right, so that's tanking the same way. And as far as the Dallas Cowboys tanking, that ain't such a bad idea if your team is doing so bad. Obviously, the veterans on the team, not saying they're not better players, but it didn't look like they didn't gave up. So why not put the younger guys in and see what they can do? That's giving your veterans a rest from getting hurt, and that's seeing who can come out there and play the game. And I feel like that's a reason that a lot of teams don't you see the same teams going to the playoffs, going to the Super Bowl because they never play their second and third string players enough and they only depend on their first string. My relative, my second or third cousin or something, he said that his high school football team was on the news and they asked who's the best football team in the league? They said our first string. They said who's the second best? They said our second string. And who do you think the third best team is? They said our JV. That tells you something. So everybody was getting playtime. If they think their whole team is the first, second, and third best. So there's nothing wrong with tanking. Jerry Jones is right about that. He made a good decision if that's what he's going to do with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think the veterans on the Cowboys either are going to be too mad already being 2-6 and they get time to rest because the season already looks like, it's in the pits. So they get time to rest and they're still getting paid. It's not like because they're sitting down, their salary is changing. You're just letting the younger players see what they can do. That's all. But back to the first point, the 49ers and any other team, if you're going to try to look amazing in the fourth quarter, go all in with it and use everything you can like Tom Brady does. Never gives up anytime, tries to use every second to his advantage. If that was Tom Brady, he would have known he had 2 timeouts left with 30 seconds left on the clock, and he would have called timeout because he would have felt like if I get this touchdown in 5 seconds, throwing a good touchdown pass, my team can get this onside kick, and maybe we can get the ball back and do it again and take it down to 15 seconds, and we might be able to be the team ever only in history to get 2 onside kicks, 2 touchdowns, and come back and tie the game up or something. So that's my take on that. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, subscribe. This is Folk Solo Sports Show, man. We don't talk about race, politics, religion, none of that. So if you tired of, getting all the politics and politicians for your sports broadcaster, man, come over here to this show, man. All right, I'm out. Peace.